you thought week 2 was good, week 3 should have completely blown you away. What a wild 1 p.m. slate we had this past Sunday. Kenny C back on the ones and twos with you guys. I told you, for those that watched last week's episode, this content's coming all season long, so you will want to hit that subscribe button right now. This episode is going to be week 3 walk-offs, because that's what we had on in the 1 p.m. slate. Walk-offs galore. I will start here, as you can see. Got the memorabilia and whatnot. I am a Packers fan, for those that don't already subscribe and are just watching this for the first time. So we're going to get into the first walk-off. Out of all the walk-offs, I'm going to talk about the Packers' loss to the Cleveland Browns. 13-10 to the Cleveland Browns. I had to say that again for everybody out there, including my Packers fans, because that was a rough one. Look, I would rather get the trap game out of the way first. I'd rather get the game where you should win by a landslide, you're heavily favored, and you don't pull it out. I'd rather get that done early on. Matt LaFleur addressed it in the post-game presser. Rasheed Walker's got to shut his mouth. Without saying that directly, LaFleur basically said that, because you can't be running your mouth about we're looking at undefeated, we're better than all the teams on our upcoming schedule. You got to focus, like LaFleur said, one game at a time. And Rasheed Walker, the undefeated talk, bit you in the behind. That cannot happen. Zach Tom re-injures his oblique in this one. The offensive line was a focal point. We got to get into a little bit of the nooks and crannies of this game. The offensive line did not do its job in totality. It was largely banged up. It was largely a revolving door. That's what's going to be the result. When you have a revolving door like that, where Jordan Morgan, who's your first-round pick last year, Anthony Belton, who is your second-round pick this year, you are going to have some issues. Anthony Belton finishes with a PFF grade of 41.6. You had Jordan Morgan with a 40.7 PFF grade. The offensive line was largely bad. You got Aaron Banks, who's not been good this season. I know there's a large uproar from the Packer fan base about what we paid this guy. Look, you got to pay the premium if you want to have starting caliber offensive linemen. So that's what the market was. That's what Banks got. Is it going to end up being an overpay? It's yet to be seen. It's week 3. He's battling a groin injury. We saw it in this game this past Sunday. Zach Tom with the oblique, that was just really unfortunate, because you saw the emotions on the sideline from him. The offensive line was a problem. The play calling is a problem. Matt LaFleur, why on the season do we have 86 rush attempts to 53 pass completions? That is a problem. Having 3 points at the half against the Cleveland Browns is a major, major issue. 14 penalties in this game. Good for 75 yards. Granted, just given to Joe Flacco and company. That cannot happen. That's the most penalties in a game since week 3 back in 2010. You have to clean that up. We saw that last year and the year before that. Undisciplined play in games is going to kill you. I'm sure Matt LaFleur wants to clean this up. And then the special teams disaster. I mean, really, Brandon McManus has a chance to put this game on ice. Rich Bisaccia, I don't know how you don't plan for Shelby Harris of the Cleveland Browns defense, because in that game on Sunday, he recorded his 6th career blocked field goal. You have to know where that guy is in that situation. He gets through, he blocks the kick, Flacco orchestrates a drive the other way, and Andre Schmidt from the UFL, went to Syracuse University prior, got cut by the Bears practice squad, comes in for Cleveland, and gets a walk-off 55-yard W. Special teams has to be better than that. You have to know where Shelby Harris is. That was the first walk-off. And Jordan Love, you got to be better. Got to be better from Jordan Love. The interception to Grant Delpit, he said he didn't see him in the flat. Throws a really bad pick. His first interception in, I believe the stat was 9 straight games without an interception. So that's just a tough one for Jordan Love. He had a tough game in totality, but it also doesn't help when Matt LaFleur is pretty much conceding with the play call, getting very conservative in the second half, not passing the ball nearly enough. That last drive, instead of going for 6 and 7 with the extra point, we're playing for the field goal. You're playing conservative. It bit you in the behind, and moving forward against the Dallas Cowboys, whose secondary looks like Swiss cheese, you have to sling the football. This is a get-right game coming up for Jordan Love and company. You have to absolutely be firing on all cylinders and stop with the conservative play call. Air it out. You have a good pass attack. With or without Christian Watson and Jaden Reed, this is a unified receiving corps. Utilize them. We'll move right on along here to the next walk-off, which was pretty nutty because it featured a 19-point comeback by the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, who have a walk-off of their own in a different way, but still in the same sense that it was a field goal involved in that last play of the game. 33-26 win over the Rams, a 19-point comeback. And what happened in this game? In the fourth quarter, you got 2 blocked field goals. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis had said in practice that they want to be lined up against each other come this past Sunday. That's exactly what happened, and they wreaked havoc. Both of these gentlemen blocking a kick with 8:46 left in the fourth. You had the 36-yarder blocked by Jalen Carter. The Rams, at that point, would have extended their lead, and then later in the fourth quarter, the 61-yard score, by Jordan Davis. This man is 336 pounds, and he houses the kick that would have put the game on ice for the LA Rams. He runs it back, the heaviest man to rush for a 50-plus yard field goal block touchdown. The first team since 1978 to block 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. The Philadelphia Eagles find ways to win, and when you have those 2 big boys up front on that D-line, they are going to make it happen. The Rams looked like they were going to come away with a win in that game. A.J. Brown for the Eagles finally got implemented into the game plan. Hallelujah, helped my fantasy team out. And for the Eagles, for the other fantasy owners out there of Devontae Smith, I'm sure that helped you out big time. That was a crazy game. You don't see big men like that rumble for touchdowns on a field goal block to seal the deal. That was a crazy win. Moving right on along, the New York Jets. I'm from New York. Jets are my New York allegiance. I've said it on past episodes many a time. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm a Jet fan at heart. They're my New York team. They're in the AFC. Packers are in the NFC. There's no problems there. We tend to give each other a lot of our former players, whether it's via trade or whether it's via free agency signing. But in this one, New York Jets, they fall victim of Baker Mayfield and company. Will McDonald IV, in a game in which you thought all hope was lost. Tyrod Taylor put a cohesive drive going early on in the first half and in the first quarter specifically. Jets offense looked like maybe they'll have some juice. They end up fizzling in the second half. It looks like it's all Bucs, and the Jets slowly climb back. They slowly climb back. And then Will McDonald blocks the kick at the end of the game in which the Bucs would have went up 2 scores and sealed the deal. He blocks it and takes it 50 yards to the house. The Jets go up 27-26. But if you're a tried and true Jets fan, you knew this ain't over yet. Minute 49 left. That's a lot of time for Baker Mayfield and company. They drive down the field and hit a chip shot 36-yard field goal for Chase McLaughlin. The Jets, yet another heartbreaker. It's just brutal being a Jets fan out there. For all my tried and true Jets fans, hit the comment section, give me your thoughts on the game. But yet another blocked kick involved and another walk-off win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New York Jets in that game. And moving right on along to the next walk-off that we had, 23-20 victory for the LA Chargers, rolling red-hot Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert finally looking like himself and what he can live up to in the close games, living up to that potential of being that dude. They pull away from Denver with a 23-20 victory, and this one featured Justin Herbert getting through pressure, getting a hand grabbed on his shoulder, firing in a missile to all-reliable Keenan Allen for a touchdown to make it 20-20. Then they get a stop. The Chargers do. Minute 43 to work with. Herbert, in these situations, as we've seen, he's folded before in the close games. Hasn't been able to get it done. This time, slow, methodical, works his way down the field. Oronde Gadsden II was big in this game for the Chargers. Instrumental at times when they needed him. The Syracuse graduate, 5th-round rookie. He had 46 yards in this game on 5 receptions. He was a big part of the offense, especially late in the game, and they drive down the field. Justin Herbert gets his kicker, Cameron Dicker, didn't mean for that to rhyme, gets him into field goal range, and they walk it off with a 43-yard game-winning field goal as time expires. The hits just kept on coming on the Sunday. You thought, well, we got 2 crazy ones with Cleveland and the Packers, and then the Rams and the Rams and the Eagles. Is this going to stop? We saw the Jets and the Bucks, and then we got it just kept rolling. It just kept rolling, and it kept rolling later on into the Sunday with the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals in a pretty ugly game for most of that game. It was very slow-paced, very punt defensive battle. You had a 6-3 ball game at the half. It was 1950s football. The 49ers overcoming a lot in this game, and overcoming a lot this season in totality. They lose Nick Bosa to an ACL in this one. Purdy was hurt. You're playing with Mac Jones. Jawan Jennings did not play. George Kittle's hurt. Everybody's banged up on this 49ers team, but they battle through adversity, and Mac Jones drives down the field. Even after a safety, Mac Jones kept his composure. It was 15-13. They get a stop against Arizona. They need a field goal to win the game. Mac Jones gives up points, gets sacked in his own end zone. Doesn't matter. Similar to the calm, cool, collected Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert, minute 46 on the clock. Mac Jones, 63-yard drive, gets them down the field, and Eddie Pinheiro with a 35-yard game winner, a walk-off in week 3. And Mac Jones in this game, 27 for 41, 284 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, but holding it down ultimately for San Francisco as they come away with a 16-15 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. I want to know all of your guys' thoughts. What was the best walk-off win of the weekend? Which one of these games was the best in your opinion? Your thoughts on your own team, how your own team did this Sunday or Monday or Thursday. Give me all your thoughts. Hit the subscribe button. I want you guys to get in here, get in the huddle, so to speak. Give me your thoughts. And moving forward, give me your feedback on the future videos, because we're rolling through all the way to week 18 and the playoffs and beyond. So stay with me here. But thank you for those that stuck around and watched this video. I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button for those that don't subscribe, and stay tuned.